Hello and welcome to Essentials, week 21, quarantine style. We are here, Ray and I, excited to introduce you to the new EEL for this week. So, the first thing you see here is verbal. A verbal is a form of a verb that functions as an adjective, a noun, or adverb. So it's verbish, but it's not actually operating as a verb. And we're going to talk about 3 verbals in the next 3 weeks. This week, we're going to tackle the first of those 3, and that's the infinitive. Some of you know the Baby Bumblebee song, I'm Squishing Up a Baby Bumblebee. Almost barbaric, I know, for this song. And it goes like this. Ray, you have to sing it with me. An infinitive is to plus the verb used as a noun, an adjective, or adverb. He failed you all miserably. Wow. Terrible. So an infinitive is to plus a verb. Okay? So it could be to run, to jump. In this case, to sanitize. Okay? To sanitize is fun. The infinitive is right there, and we're using it as what in the sentence? Is that the verb in the sentence, Ray? What is that?
It's actually used as a noun.
Yeah, we're using it as a noun. And what's the noun usage here? If you think of...
Subject?
Yeah, the subject, the first S of spido pone, right? And so what's the actual verb there?
Fun? No, is.
Is, yeah. To sanitize is fun. And the other sentence is, I love to sanitize, right? There's the exact same infinitive, to sanitize. It's no longer a subject though, right? I is the subject. So what is to sanitize being used as?
Direct object?
Yeah, it's actually a direct object. Yeah, so there's just 2 examples. There's more in your EEL guide. So how do we diagram that? Well, we put it on this amazing little platform, okay? It even has little supports. It's really very exciting, okay? So we put the word to there. In this case, it's capitalized because we retain our capitalization from the sentence. And then we put the verb over here. But you can see it's in the subject slot because it's a verbal, not a verb, okay? So to sanitize is fun. Ray, why is there a slanted line right here?
Because it is, because it's a P-A?
It is, yeah. It's a predicate adjective. Yeah, this is a linking verb, and the PA is describing to sanitize. To sanitize equals fun, okay? So I have a diagram down here that's empty, and Ray is going to pick the marker of his choice and fill it in for I love to sanitize. So you guys can look at that. You might have an idea of how that should be diagrammed, but Ray is going to see if he can figure it out.
It's kind of hard for me to write from over here.
Yeah, it's a bit on the floor.
Just a bit.
I thought your eye looked pretty good.
I didn't. Okay, that's just worse.
Okay, so do you remember what I said about infinitives and how you diagram them? Do you remember this from last year?
Yeah.
Oh, awesome.
Do I write like this?
Yeah, that's perfect.
This is so difficult.
You're doing awesome.
I'm sorry if you cannot read this.
That's okay. Okay. I love to sanitize. He has 2 there on the arc portion, and then he has sanitize. Now, some of you are looking at that and thinking, did we spell all the words correctly? Maybe sanitize until recently hasn't been a part of your working vocabulary. But now suddenly you know all about the word sanitize. So what letter can we change in sanitize?
Oh.
So that is the new verbal, the infinitive. And I'm going to sing the song one more time for you, and it's probably going to be a solo because Ray seems reluctant. So this is how it goes. An infinitive is to plus a verb used as a noun, an adjective, or adverb. And again, there's examples of all those in our EEL guide. Okay? The next thing that we're going to go over is compound complex. Okay? So to do that, we're going to talk about a little review of sorts. This is going to embarrass Ray, but that's okay. So here's my sentence. The Smiths own a bidet. And you might be looking at that and thinking, that's a simple sentence. It's just got one independent clause. It's got a subject. It's got a verb. Yes, right?
Miss Shannon, what is a bidet?
It's toilet humor, y'all. You need to ask your parents. Say, what is a bidet? It's called a bidet. And you should ask them. It's a fancy French toilet. Okay, so that's simple. It's like if you took a toilet and it got married to a drinking fountain.
Ew.
I know. Ooh, okay, now we've done simple. We've also learned compound. Here's an example of me making that compound. The Smiths own a bidet, comma, and the world envies them. Why is that compound, Ray?
And because of the fanboy.
Yeah, it's got a fanboy, that's and, for, and, nor, but, or, yet, so. And it's got two independent clauses. The Smiths own a bidet, the world envies them. Okay, they can both stand on their own. Now, you might know the next one. What is it? It's simple, compound, complex. What is our complex sentence? The Smiths, who now feel brilliant, own a bidet. Why is that complex?
Is it a subordinate clause?
Yeah, it's got an independent clause. The Smiths own a bidet, right? The same as our first simple sentence. And then it has a subordinate clause. Who now feel brilliant. Sometimes that's called a dependent clause, right? It's in IEW, we call it a who which clause, and it can't stand on its own. We can say the Smiths own a bidet, but you can't just say who now feel brilliant, right? That just cannot hang out on its own. So an independent clause plus a dependent, sometimes called subordinate clause, is complex. Now, we're getting to our last and final sentence structure. Is that what it's called? Structure?
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay. That is the compound complex. The Smiths, who now feel brilliant, own a bidet, and the world envies them.
Why?
Why is that? Why? There's been a toilet paper crisis, right? And we don't have to use as much toilet paper as them.
Why is there a toilet paper crisis?
We'll talk about it later. Yeah, we don't watch a lot of the news, y'all.
Fear the coronavirus.
Okay, so compound complex. That is a sentence that consists of at least two independent clauses and at least one subordinate clause. Okay, so let's look down here. Okay. Ooh, I'll cover this up and this will make it less confusing. Okay, so the Smiths own a bidet. There's an independent clause. Ray, where's the other independent clause?
And the world envies them.
The world envies them. Then where's the dependent clause?
Who now feel brilliant.
Who now feel brilliant, right? So we have hit that. We've got two independent clauses and we've got one subordinate clause. Okay? Going along with my toilet humor. Here is a sentence. I love Mom, and Mom loves me because she bought me toilet paper.
You're good at writing fiction, Mom.
Thanks. So you may think, wow, this is an incredible sentence. How does Miss Shannon come up with this? I know. So our two independent clauses are in red. I love Mom. Mom loves me. Our subordinate clause, because she bought me toilet paper, is in blue. What is and? Ray, why is that black with a comma?
Is the fanboy?
Yeah, it's the fanboy that's joining them. Okay, awesome. So, whoa, that's how we're going to diagram a compound complex sentence. And Ray is going to diagram it for you. I'm not sure if he remembers how to do this. Do you remember? Awesome.
Oh, wait.
You know what he's thinking, guys? He's thinking, I have to join it verb to verb. And he's right. Get it over there to that verb spot. Yep. Okay, so
I write
far.
much better with pens.
I know you do. So far, this is just like our compound sentences that we did last semester, right? We have that little platform and that dotted line. I love mom and she loves me. But there's
it like
more to do.
this?
Yes, it was. And we're joining the subjects because our dependent clause is adjectival. A who which clause is adjectival because it's starting with the relative pronoun who and it's giving us more information. Oh, I just lied, Ray. I totally made that up. This is not adjectival. It's a because clause. It's a ww.asia.wub. It's the b in wub. So because. So this is an adverbial clause. Oh my goodness gracious. Which means we have to join it at the verbs.
So like this?
Yeah, let's do that.
Wait. Bought, yeah. This is not my regular handwriting.
We all know.
This is my teacher handwriting.
I know. That's terrific.
Are you trying to embarrass me in front of the whole class?
No, I think you're honest to goodness doing a great job. Like, I am duly impressed with you, especially for having not gone over this ahead of time and just putting you on the spot.
I know, very upsetting. Do I write me? Or is me modifying bought?
Let's think. She bought. Bought is, okay, so who or what bought?
Me.
Me bought it in the sentence?
Oh no, she.
Okay. What is being said about she?
She bought.
Okay. She bought who or what?
Bought toilet paper.
Okay, so toilet paper is what then?
The direct object.
Okay, is there a noun or pronoun in between the verb and the direct object that is indirectly receiving the direct object?
Yeah.
So what's that called?
The IO.
Yeah, exactly. Now, here's the question that you guys are going to have to discuss with your families. Is toilet paper a compound noun or is it an adjective and a noun? Because I have no idea. I feel like green paper, okay. Green paper is green adjective, paper noun. Toilet paper, I could go either way. I'll go with what Ray did. Ray did paper is the direct object and toilet is modifying it, like printer paper, copy paper, toilet paper. But Ray, that's amazing. What happened to the toilet? Oh, it's the dotted lines. Okay, good. I'm so impressed with you. Okay. So if you look in your guide, you will see that is the way that you would diagram a subordinating conjunction that's adverbial. This is the way you would do it if it was a relative pronoun, if it was a who, which. So yeah, those are the two ways. The last thing that we're going to talk about is our charts, okay? So this week the charts are going to be chart Q verbals, and that has an error. So the reason I'm bringing it up is because I want you to know, as your student is looking at it, that the participle that we'll talk about in 2 weeks, you need to take a Sharpie and make that a little hammock, right? Because it should not be an angular line, okay? So just want to make you aware right now as your student is working on this chart that's been introduced this week that is incorrect, okay? But they're going to do a special focus right here on infinitive, and this is where it shows you how you diagram it right up there on stilts. Very cool. So that's one of our new charts. The second new chart this week is, or not new, but review chart this week is chart H conjunctions. So they want you guys to dig into your conjunctions chart and remind yourself of the way that conjunctions work. The way that the coordinating conjunctions, correlating conjunctions, subordinating conjunctions, and those relative pronouns work. But I'm going to add a little bit of information to it, okay? So I want to show you how you can diagram with conjunctions, okay? So here is what's called a compound subject, okay? So you can see that there's more than one line. These lines are branching off because my compound subject includes 3 individuals, okay? So right now it says Ray, Chandler, and Eleanor enjoy their quarantine.
And again, Mom, you're really good at fiction.
I am. I'm pretty great at it. Notice I didn't put Imogene and Piper. So and right here is connected with the dotted line. And that's, I mean, it's pretty cool. It becomes art, y'all. So that is a compound subject. Ray, do you know what else you can have that's compound besides a subject?
A direct object?
You can have a compound direct object. Let me see if I have that.
Compound
Ooh, a compound direct object. Okay. Ray loves wipes, antibacterial wipes, and the CDC. All right, way to go. So that's how you would do a compound direct object. You would have this line here, and then after that, you would branch off, and then your conjunction goes right here, okay? You said you could also have a compound what?
Adjective?
I don't know. You'll have to
adverb?
think of an adverb or adjective.
Yeah.
You can just keep those from the line. Like this,
yeah.
you would just have lines if they were cumulative adjectives or cumulative adverbs. But this is an example.
Preposition?
Yeah, we'll talk about that next. Let's talk about verbs first. Okay, Ray. So there's only one subject, right? Ray, but there's 2 verbs. Washes hands, washes his hands, and practices distancing. What kind of distancing? Social distancing. So Ray washes his hands and practices social distancing. What if it says Ray washes his hands and he practices social distancing? Would that be different?
Mm-hmm.
Why? I'm going to say it one more time. Ray washes his hands and he practices social distancing.
Because it has a pronoun in it and it's 2 separate sentences, then it's a compound clause.
Yeah, it's going to be a compound sentence.
Yeah.
Flat out compound sentence because there's 2 subjects, Ray and he. But if I just say Ray washes his hands and I'm going to say that again. Ray washes his hands and practices social distancing. It's a compound verb. If I added he, Ray washes his hands and he practices social distancing, that's not a compound verb. That's a compound sentence with 2 different subjects, 2 different verbs. Okay? So that's important because that can be a point of confusion. But doesn't that look cool? I mean, you could hang that on the wall, Ray. You want to frame these?
No.
Okay. The last thing, you mentioned this, which I don't know how you knew this because I think I forgot this. There are compound prepositional phrases.
We don't have like a Sam's membership.
No, I know, but it took too many spaces to write like Kroger or, I don't know, Albertsons. So I had to choose something small. And I hear lots of people go to Sam's.
Why not HEB?
Stop it. I didn't think about that. That's where we shop. Okay. Mom seeks toilet paper at Sam's and at Aldi, right? The preposition goes right here on the slanted line and the object of the preposition goes here. But maybe Mom didn't find toilet paper at Sam's, so she had to go to Aldi. Or maybe, y'all, maybe she sought toilet paper at Sam's and at Aldi and at HEB, and then finally she went to Amazon and she bought herself a toilet seat bidet because she loves her family and she wants the whole world to be envious. Anyway, let me know what questions you have about EEL this week. I'm going to go over this one more time. Verbals are new infinitive. This is how you diagram it. And our last and final sentence structure, compound complex. That's how you diagram it. Thanks so much for tuning in to week 21 quarantine edition.